Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to Gills and the Blood TV. It's Thursday night, which means the week that was, and match preview, myself, and a collared Boz. We are going out for darts Christmas drinks this evening, hence us looking relatively well dressed. Combed our hair.
I'm not even wearing shorts.
He smells delicious.
I've got jeans on.
He's got proper trousers on. Anyway, how are you? All right? You had a good week?
Yeah, it's been alright. Yeah.
Well, the big news, obviously, right back to Monday night, FA Cup draw. It was alright, wasn't it?
I said to my friend at work, I said I'd rather have someone big because I think we're kind of favourites.
And now we're on the telly, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I know they've just beaten Chelsea, but, you know...
Yeah, they weren't in good form until then, were they? They'd been awful up until then, and there'd been talk of Pellegrini being on the brink. But, I mean, it's great reward for Sunderland 2 games and Donny that we've had to play, and I think Steve Evans has mentioned it a couple of times, and I was probably in that camp, and so were you, I think. When it came out Sunderland away, we probably thought, that's it, we're out of the Cup. Yeah, I know Stocky tweeted, didn't he, and put breaking news, Gills are out of the FA Cup. So yeah. I think there's plenty of us that have got to eat a little bit of humble pie. We've been really good over all 3 of them cup ties, haven't we, to get here, and I think it's great reward. I remember looking, there was like 8 teams left, and that was definitely the massive one, wasn't it? There was a couple of good championship sides left, I think, but we was one number out from being Arsenal away, weren't we? I think 55 come out away to Arsenal, or 57, and we were 56. But I'm not being funny, like we said last year, there's only 20 Premier League teams. If you get one of them, you've had a result, so it should be a good tie.
Are they going to draw each other, which a couple did, didn't they?
Yeah, big one was the Merseyside derby, I think, and there was there Arsenal Leeds, that's a good one, Premier League versus Championship. So yeah, it looks like there's some good ties, but as I said, we've been picked for TV coverage Sunday the 5th of January, kick-off 6:16 PM. I know a few people have messaged the club and asked why is that. It's to do with... I
think it was a typo originally.
No, it's to do with mental health awareness, isn't it? So they're doing it a minute late on all them ties. 140 grand we get apparently for that, and looking on Google. So
Scally's fuming, that's been announced.
That's for another day. So it's best part of $250,000 we made. We got 36,000 for beating Sunderland. We got 54,000 for beating Donny. Gate receipts from the replay. Gate receipts from Donny, which is probably effectively one home league game put together, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So by the time that comes round, we might have a transfer budget. What would you say would be acceptable?
What, as in what?
Well, if we've made best part of $250,000 by the time the cup tie comes round, which is only the first weekend of January, so we've obviously got another 3 or 4 weeks for the transfer window. What would you say was an acceptable figure? I know it doesn't work quite like that, but if we put it into simple terms, like Football Manager, if out of that $250,000, what would you say would be the minimum you think we should be allowed to spend?
I would like to think it'd be around the 100k mark.
So I said 150.
Because I think if you look at the 100, you've then got, say, a bit more money to extend 1 or 2 contracts, like the Hannon's out of contract in the summer.
Yep, there's another one that we'll talk about in a minute, Jack Tucker.
Yeah, yeah, so...
Could also be, sorry to interrupt, also to extend the loans of Ollie Lee and Thomas O'Connor as well.
Yeah.
So minimum 100, I'd want at least 150, because Scally comes out and says we don't budget for cup runs. So it's effectively all just a bonus, isn't it? So we know it's not as simple as FIFA where you get 250,000, you can spend it on what you want, but... And he says it goes into the club, which we know it does. But it would be nice to him to come out and say, look, we've given X amount. If it was,
say, 100k and we went out and bought a striker for 100k and that was all we done, I wouldn't be too disappointed if we could extend some of the loans.
Yeah, if we could keep all the loan players, I think, and we could get in an 100k striker, then, yeah, I think I'd be able. I don't think we're going to let many go, are we?
I just think because of numbers we can't. I think Cisse's and Garnes will be the 2.
Yeah, that's probably the 2. So, but yeah, it's... something to look forward to, isn't it, anyway? But Steve Evans talks in Thursday's Medway Messenger and says points the priority. That's the headline on the back page of today's paper. We have got some big games coming up, in fairness. So Steve's saying it's, you know, you're not going to be in the lineup for the West Ham game if you're not performing in the league. And
exactly what I should be told.
Of course, yeah. And I said on Monday, as soon as it got announced, that it's a great opportunity. And you just said there's a chance for an upset, but we have to still be in decent form. And we've got 5 league games before then. Sunderland at home on Saturday, Fleetwood away, MK Dons at home, Ipswich away Boxing Day, well, I think that's 6 actually, Rochdale at home, Pompey at home. So we've got, 6. So 18 points available before West Ham, 4 home games. What would you say would be a decent return in terms of points?
Listening to what you just said, I think the 2 away games would be tricky.
Yeah, I think if you had to say one that you're going to lose, I'd say Ipswich.
Yeah, home game wise...
Sunderland, MK Dons, Rochdale and Pompey.
I would probably take 9 out of 4 home games. I'd be well chuffed with 3 wins out of 4.
I'd even take a draw and 2 wins from the 4. Oh no. I fancy us to beat Sunderland.
See, I do, and it's strange, isn't it?
But we have to fancy us to beat anyone at the moment at home because we've not conceded for so many weeks, have we? So not months, weeks. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Say worst case scenario, draw with Sunderland at the weekend because they're Sunderland.
And they're going to be stronger this time when they've got players coming back.
You'd imagine so. They've had 10 days off, I think, as well. Beat MK Dons.
I'd like to think so, yeah.
Beat Rochdale.
That's normally a home banker with us.
And draw Pompey.
Yeah.
So that's 8. 2 wins, 2 draws. Lose at Ipswich. And I'd say a draw from Fleetwood. We generally do all right out there, don't we?
I'll definitely take a point on Fleetwood. I just think it's difficult.
I think if we can get anything between sort of 9 and 11 points, we've had a belter.
I think the good thing with us this year is that most of our games are home-based, aren't they? And Ipswich isn't a million miles away. We can take Fleetwood out and generally...
Oh, yeah, sorry, in terms of travel,
Travel-wise,
yeah. It's not too bad. And the furthest we go in the next 6 weeks is 3 weeks, because obviously it's Christmas. But yeah, Fleetwood. Ipswich ain't too far, considering like we have massive ones. So yeah, anything sort of 9, 10, 11?
I would be well happy with 9.
Cool. So you're saying maybe 3 wins, 3 defeats, or 2 wins, 2 draws?
Yeah.
No, 3 draws. I can't work it out. Anyway,
I think of the 4 home games, I'd be chuffed to win 3, and anything would get away as a bonus.
Yeah, or even if you go unbeaten, you'd back us to win at least a couple then, wouldn't you, as well? You spoke about new contracts a minute ago, maybe extending some. There is talk in the paper. Gilles Hold talks over a new deal for Tucker. So, Jack Tucker, Rolls Royce, we described him as last week, didn't we, against Doncaster? He just looks like a centre-back that's played about 200 league games at the moment. It's ridiculous how good
he doesn't look like someone who's
just turned 20
for the first time in his career.
Yeah, exactly. And out of contract at the end of the season, but Steve Evans says he's spoken to representatives of Jack and he's spoken to Jack himself. So the good thing is, if he does go, we get compensation, obviously, but I think the same as what
I think I said to you last week, didn't I? I think ideally, in my mind, we've got him for at least another 18 months.
Yeah, I think he needs another full season after this year.
I think if he was to go now, it's a tad early.
I think Evans alludes to it and says he'd leave now and he'd just go and sit in someone's under-23 side, which he's not going to benefit from. So he might as well stay here and play proper football, so to speak. Interestingly, though, this is what Evans says regarding Jack. He says, we're only in the first few days of December, but Jack knows. I spoke to him before he was in the first team about getting him on a more secure long-term footing. We want to be part of that group of people that get him to where he should be. And he then goes on to say he has to continue to work hard on his game, and the minute he gets carried away, I will drop him out of the team like a stone. Then he goes on to talk about another player. Look at, see if you can guess who it is, who was here when I arrived. Everyone was telling me and thought he was a brilliant player. The kid's career could have gone 2 ways. The kid was a smashing lad, but I can only assume he got involved with the wrong people and it takes your focus away. If your focus goes, then you're not as good as you should be. It broke my heart to release him.
I want to say Bradley Stevens.
Same age.
Oh, Oldacre.
Darren Oldacre he's talking about. So take that as what you will, Gilles fans. But it'd be interesting if we ever did find out. But we always said he had all the ability in the world, didn't he? But
I will say with Tucker, he doesn't seem as like if he does have that lifestyle, he doesn't post it all over social media.
He's not broadcasting it, yeah. Darren isn't afraid to put it all over there as well. But that's that's not for us to say. It's not here nor there. It's DJ's life, and he wants to do what he wants to do, and good luck to him in everything that he does do. Another player that was back last week was Matty Willock.
Touched the ball and everything, didn't he?
Had a shot as well, I think, didn't he? Dropped his shoulder and blasted it. It was nearer us than the net, but it was just nice to see him live. And yeah, I didn't realise the severity of that injury that he picked up against Bolton then. Fractured kneecap, that sounds... Ow. I mean, knee surgery, broken ankles, we're all very aware of nasty injuries for one reason or another, and yeah, that don't sound too clear. He said he came in at half-time and he was limping and he thought it was all right, and he said he had to phone the physio that night. He got home and his knee had just ballooned up, so that's why we've not seen him, but great to have him back. Again, does it give us more flexibility and wiggle room in terms of if we want to get a loan player return to their parent club to maybe get in better?
What we've spoken, haven't we, of the loan players, we would probably end in Jolly's.
Yeah, I think if you had to pick one, I think it would be in Jolly on the fact that he's clearly behind Mandron and Hanlon now. So the one we spoke about recently was Ollie Lee, wasn't it? Because he's only on a 6-month contract. He's probably a bigger earner, and if we've got Willock fit, then we could use him or Regan Charles Cook in the 10. But Ollie Lee's a very good footballer, and we saw that on Sunday. And we know we've said he's not been consistent enough.
He's probably technically our best player, but
He needs to be on it more.
Me personally, he's not on it enough for my liking, but I would obviously keep him to the end of the season.
So I guess if he has another good month, then we're definitely going to try and keep him on. But that might be out of our hands as well, yeah. And they've still not appointed a manager, I don't think, have they? So it's all up in the air from their end as well. But obviously we'll get to January and we'll start seeing more rumours. I did see one rumour. I don't know if you saw it. I'm imagining it's a kid that's set up an in the know agency account. And it links into who we're playing on Saturday because he used to play for them as well. If you believe Twitter, then Victor Anichebe is joining Jules. A decent signing at this level. I think he's only 30, 31. I was talking to Graham on the Roker Report today. Yeah, apparently he's only 30, 31. I think he broke into the Everton side really young though, didn't he? But he's an absolute tank. And I'd imagine he'd do a job at this level, but I can't see us being able to afford his wages.
Money, yeah.
I think that'd be all that 100,000, wouldn't it? Just to keep him to the end of the season.
He tweets Sunderland fans about how much he loves that club, so if he's come back to England, I think that would be his first choice.
Exactly, yeah. So, interesting.
Strange one though. It's up there with the Nobby Solano rumours.
It is a big one. Anyway, we have a game at the weekend, and it's a team we're quite familiar with this past few weeks. For the third time in 3 or 4 weeks, we'll be taking on this team. Another long trek for the Mackhams at the weekend. Like I say, I spoke to Graham on the Roker Report podcast today, which is coming out hopefully tomorrow, and 5 AM they're getting up. You've got to love your football club, haven't you, if you're getting up at that time to follow them in their current form. Because they've been dire for weeks.
I think a few of them probably hoping that we win to push Parkinson closer to the door. He's only
been there 6, 8 weeks, I think it is. We was talking about this today, and well, let's get your thoughts on it. In terms of form, last 6... Gills have got 2 wins, a draw and 3 defeats in the league. Sunderland have got 2 wins, a draw and 3 defeats in the league. So both identical, got 7 points from 18. We've got 9 points from 18 at home in the league, which is 1-3 and lost 3. What do you think their record is away? Last 6 from 18.
I'd imagine it's not great. They've been poor for quite a while now.
4 points. They've won 1, drawn 1 and lost 4. And they've not scored in their last 3 away fixtures in the league.
Or against us in the cup.
Didn't score against us in the cup either. Got beaten at Scunthorpe away in the EFL Trophy. Will Grigg is so not on fire, but yeah, so they're really struggling.
On paper, they should be
top 2 or 3.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's so then does it say, oh, let's just look at ours. Obviously, we're 4 home wins on the bounce without conceding, and we've only lost 2 in the last 9 in all competitions. We won 5 of them, so that's about a 55-60% strike rate. So I think if you'd said those 2 sets of form guides out without telling you whose team was who, you'd go the other way, wouldn't you? You'd point and say the teams were the other way round. But we've just said their squad should be a lot. Players not playing for Phil Parkinson, do you think? Do you think they've down tools a little bit?
Gone in, haven't they?
But there's something fundamentally not right, is there?
Something. It's a bit more than just a case of the manager and the coach.
I know they're not a fan of Stuart Donald either. He seems to have gone in and that honeymoon period ended, and
yeah, because there's always rumours that he's selling up, isn't there?
He come from Eastleigh. So it seems that there's talk of maybe the club's too big for him, because obviously you go from a National League side to a massive League One club that were Premier League 24 months ago. It's a huge step.
Stabilising them behind the scenes, from what I've read.
But they're going backwards on the pitch now, aren't they?
On the pitch, I mean, it's not been good.
They've been nothing short of... They've not won a game since they played us in the first game at the Stadium of Light. And they've been beaten by rubbish as well, like Scunthorpe, I think. No offence to Scunthorpe, but they're bottom half League 2, and Sunderland didn't put out a reserve side that night, and they got absolutely trounced. But anyway...
They're keeping their keepers around as well, don't they?
Yeah, I think Lee Burge has been in and out. John McLaughlin keeps dropping it in his net, apparently, so... Good opportunity, I'd imagine. But like you said, they might be stronger this week. They've had 10 days off. They didn't have a game last week because we'd knocked them out of the cup, and probably got a couple back from injuries. They had one fit centre-half, didn't they, in the cup? I think that was that Ozturk. So... we shall see, but you have to back us in our current form. I'd imagine we're playing well with confidence, defensively solid, with scoring goals. Team news. Aside from potentially Stuart O'Keefe, full squad to choose from. Bradley Garmston won't be involved. No. Henry Woods has gone back out on loan to Concord Rangers, so that's good for him getting games. And Roman Campbell's gone to Ramsgate, I think. Yeah, he's gone to Ramsgate. Same 18 for me.
Yeah, I don't. We haven't had a game midweek, so I think this week
Exactly.
as it is.
And I'd leave Stuart O'Keefe for another week.
We're obviously going to have to rotate as we go on in this month.
I think nearer to like Boxing Day, etc., etc. We're going to have to start.
If we can get like minutes into like some Willock before then.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, same team for us, same bench. I'd leave Stuart O'Keefe right out because there's no point risking him if he's 50-50 or 60-40, 70-30.
We've done it for years, rushing players back and when it never works,
especially with hamstrings.
And we're in a decent run of form, so for me, he stays out until he's ready to come back.
Yeah, and Tom O'Connor done fine in the middle of the diamond anyway, didn't he? So right, before we go to the pub, score prediction.
I'm gonna go 1-0, Brandon Hanlon.
Gills 1, Mackham's 0. Brandon Hanlon, because he loves to score against Sunderland, doesn't he? He scored against them in the cup replay, scored up there in the league last season.
It'll be a second half goal as well because he gets better as the game goes on.
Yeah. It's don't tell Sunderland. No, some positivity everywhere again. It's a little bit disconcerting. I'm not sure we've had this much positivity for over.
I've not seen so much on social media recently about how we should be doing better, like league position wise. We're probably 1 or 2.
I said today on that podcast that
performance-wise, I think we should be higher up.
It's the only thing that's been frustrating about this run of wins at home is that only one of them was a league game because we had 2 in the cup, didn't we, and an EFL Trophy game.
Yeah.
You'd loved it if that was like 1 FA Cup game and 3 league games because I think we said if we'd won the Wimbledon game, which we should have done, or even got a point, and we'd won the 2 games where we was 2-0 up in early in the season, we'd be on 28 points. We're about 9th. Yeah. 2 points outside the playoffs. We're not a million miles away. That's the thing, and I know the Steve Evans haters don't like hearing that, but without wanting to bang the same
he's
drum.
Starting to win you over, haven't you?
He is starting to win me over purely because, for no other reason than we're playing well. We're keeping clean sheets. We're playing some half decent stuff. We're scoring goals and we're winning football matches. I don't know what else do I want?
This is my thing, is I still don't like the bloke, but he's doing the right things on the pitch.
Which is what we said all along, wasn't it? From the moment he got installed as manager, we said, obviously, we knew what was rumoured to be in his past, but if he does it right on a Saturday at 3 o'clock, or Tuesday at 7:45, or a Sunday in a few weeks at 6:16, then...
Well, I said to you Saturday, he doesn't seem to be in as much trouble with officials this season. And I've seen him at Wimbledon, like, Glyn Hodges was a lot worse. Double.
He's very clever in that he leaves Paul Rayner to do a bit of it, I think, doesn't he? So they almost sort of do a little bit each.
It's like he has a pop at Rayner and Rayner repeats it.
Yeah, and it's clever because obviously we don't want them getting in trouble, and we said that at the beginning, we don't want them crossing the line, but the same with some footballers. If you take that passion and desire and burning ambition out of them, then they're not as good. Like Roy Keane, how many times did he overstep the mark? Yeah. Wayne Rooney, Vieira. Yeah, in going back even further, there was plenty that were naughty.
Gascoigne did as well, didn't he?
But yeah,
Jones.
Yeah. I mean, that was a slightly different era. You could get away with kicking people right up in the air then, but he wouldn't be as good a manager, I don't think, if we took that out of him. But he's learning to channel it the right way, and he's learning to realise that there is a line that you can't cross, and generally he's not crossed it this season. So, anyway, we're off for a couple of beers. We shall be there Saturday for Matchday Live. Myself, Boz, and
Stocky's coming, yeah.
Stocky's there as well. All 3 of us. Lovely stuff. Hoping for another positive performance, another positive display, and another positive result. Until next time, you know where we are. Until next, just said that. Up the Gills.